Hello lovely people and welcome. For today's video I'm playing with the November Paletteful Packs box which I receive, and this box was very interesting for me because it contained these M-gram oil paints. They're a walnut oil based paint and I have never worked with oils before at all. Also, Paletteful Packs this month is doing an art challenge contest type thing. The theme is gray, black, white, and gray. The paints they included were a black, a white, and a Payne's gray, which is kind of a blue-gray. And so I decided to go ahead and dive in and see what it felt like to use oil paints. This was great. I've never done this before. This was fascinating. I think in the end I probably diluted the paints too much in the walnut oil, but it made it so smooth to work with. It was really, really fun. So the first thing I did was I took the Payne's gray and the white and I did this background, and I wanted a kind of ocean-like background, but I didn't want it to be too defined. But I do have ocean and sky and they're pretty well separated, but not like a very stark line between them. I wanted the gradient to kind of be stormy and moody, and I think I achieved that. I then let this dry for a week, and when I came back it was still quite sticky. If I touched it I would leave a fingerprint, pull up paint on my skin. So because there's a due date to this challenge, I went ahead and decided to go ahead and work the foreground anyway. I have no idea how long this is actually going to take to dry. But anyway, so for the foreground, I mostly worked with the black and the white. And I started by generally laying in the, it's a humpback whale breeching that I decided to do. And I started by just laying in the darks and the lights and just kind of getting the shape of the figure into the thing. And occasionally I had some small accidents that I had to clean up there. But yeah, so this was mostly a matter of experimenting with the consistency of the paint and seeing what would actually work and blend the way I wanted it to. Since it's a completely unfamiliar medium, it was really very much an exercise in learning what happened when I did anything with it. So I went back in and did layers and adding kind of detail and nuance each time. I think the end result is still kind of clunky, but I'm pretty happy with it as a first round with oils. The water that the oil is coming out of is my least favorite part of the painting, but other than that, I like this a lot. The whale's a little too fat, but that's okay. I didn't quite get the aspect ratio right. But still, overall, it was a lot of fun to do this. It was really interesting to try and to see what to do with all the textures. Another thing that I think I did wrong is how thickly I put the paint on. I worked with a really, really thick textured amount of paint, and I suspect that that's going to make it take months to dry. But, you know, maybe I'll try this again and try to think about that as I go along. Oh, and just in case you're wondering, I do have butcher paper down under that. I'm not brushing off my paint right onto my desktop, so don't panic about that. I did find that laying on the paint with a palette knife was often easier. It kind of spread more easily than with the brush, so I ended up doing a bunch of that and then using the edge of the palette knife to define the grooves in the whale's underside, and that I thought worked pretty well. So here, that's what I'm doing, is kind of the last bit of work that I'm doing on it, and fixing up the water a little bit under it. And I think it worked out pretty well. So, as always, thank you so much for coming and listening. Please like and subscribe and all that jazz. And take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and be well. So, here's the final product. I hope you like it. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Thank you so much. Take care.